Howdy, 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 and welcome, friends, gamers, city planners, and other enthusiasts to the next episode 002 of the restart, which would be the B, of City Skylines II, where we did recently do a restart. We're currently trying to build the city of our dreams, which is the map of the inner sphere using vanilla assets and Battletech history and lore from the 3025 era and before. This is your host, BoydofZINJ. And we're going to start up. I made a quick save. I do have a quick cinematic, and we're going to start early on in focusing on the Marik Riverwalk. This area of land that we're seeing here, water, is what we're deeming the Riverwalk. My inspiration is coming from a real life city called San Antonio, Texas, and we're going to expand it. I've been thinking it over, and I believe expanding it would be a logical choice. With all of that being said, I'm going to play a quick cinematic. You want to skip the cinematic? Skip about a minute ahead. We'll tell you briefly about the Marik Riverwalk. On this playthrough for City Skylines II, we are using Battletech lore and history to roleplay that a bunch of refugees from the 3025 era crash landed on a strange alien planet and is populating it using City Skylines II vanilla assets. The first part of the map is going to be populated by the Free Rogues League or House Marik, and what we're showcasing on the screen here is an area that we have terraformed and coined as Marik Riverwalk. The Marik Riverwalk is currently being designed where high-end businesses, eateries, and tourist traps are going, as well as a few more expensive residential areas. The inspiration comes from a real-life city called San Antonio, Texas, in the United States. San Antonio, Texas has a river that goes through it. The San Antonio Riverwalk has lots of high-end restaurants, hotels, eateries, and shopping centers and commercial buildings, which is what's planned for the Marik Riverwalk. The Marik Riverwalk does have one disadvantage. It's near Poop Bay, where the sewage is coming out. This ends our quick tour of the planned Marik Riverwalk and my inspiration for it. Okay, thank you. Alright, so this first part I'm going to leave exactly alone. One thing I'm going to do, and I was deciding about this, is I'm going to move this cemetery. And I think it would be appropriate if we move it on the Riverwalk. Something that will kind of draw tourists in. For right now, we're going to move it there. We're going to delete this pedestrian walkway. Maybe we shouldn't have deleted it. The alternative is it could go on this side. Alright, so plan B is moving to the other side. So let's put the pedestrian walk back in. And then we're going to detail it real fast. This small area. Sorry about that, some quick detailing. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the river a wee bit larger. So we're going to destroy some of these roads, or pedestrian walkways I should say. Next, we're going to delete this main road. We're going to temporarily move the cemetery. And we're going to delete this road over here. And we're going to connect this road over here to this road. So we'll start off here. We're going to fast forward we're going to do some landscaping and remodeling here. So let's fast forward. At this point in the video, we're going to be fast forwarding and speeding up me terraforming the river. What I'm doing here is I really want the Marik Riverwalk to look grandioso. Something very grand and something very where businesses would be proud. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make it a little wider. I thought it was a little too skinny in some areas. Likewise, I also want to give some of the water some like small islands, or like make it not feel so perfect. Lastly, I also want, well, not lastly, next I also want to expand the Riverwalk all the way to the far east side of the map, all across the map. And notice how I'm leaving some of the terrain on the water. Lastly, this is a true lastly, I want to have a pedestrian road on each side of the river to act as a type of a seawall or quay. There's no, back in City Skylines 1, you can have like, a seawall or quay to like prevent water from seeping into the ground. Especially like when there was like an event or something. It's not true here in City Skylines, but you can elevate roads to be a few meters off the ground, and it seems, to act very similar. But the problem is, if there's water, it gets very goofy. And I find a solution, but I find it kind of late. So I'm going to fast forward this so you can see me terraforming the river a little bit, and then I'll get to the point where we're going to try and be making seawalls and tell you the frustration is I get and the solution I came up with. So you notice I've expanded past the main Marik Riverwalk, and I'm now trying to add the seawall or the pedestrian road, but notice how the water is making it very difficult. And it gets very frustrating. And this is where I had several problems. So I came up with a solution, but unfortunately it was kind of late. And I'm going to fast forward the video to the point where I come up with the solution, because it's going to be very frustrating trying to see me connect the walls, even if I fast forward this, because I'm having a lot of trouble, and I have a lot of trouble fixing this because of the water situation. Notice how on the left hand side I was able to finally get it in, but it's taken me a long time for just a small piece of road, and now this road I'm stuck at. Like, how do I fix that? The real problem is I need to have land underneath that, so I come up with a solution. So I'm going to fast forward the video to that solution. I fast forwarded the video. We've expanded the Marik Riverwalk, and now I'm trying to put the pedestrian road to act as a seawall or quay. But notice how the water is still giving us trouble. And I'm thinking to myself, only if, sorry, kitty cat problems. Only if there was land underneath above the water, underneath this platform that I could use, so that way I wouldn't have this issue about it saying that there's water and I can't build here. So I come up with the solution. It's like, well, this cliff
is is like about 90 to 100 meters above, or feet. I guess I'm using feet, so it's 90 to 100 feet above the water. So what if I pick a point right above the water level, make land like a plateau, and then have the second level, which is the true level, and build the road there. And you'll see that I'm now using the tools that City Skylines has given us. I'm using where it slopes down the road, and then I'm picking a point just right above the water. So I'm making two spots. One that's the true level, where I want the road to go, and then another spot just right above the water, so that way there's no water issues. So now when I put the road there, it won't give me the problem that, oh, there's water here, you can't put a road here. So let's check this out. So I'm going to start with the pedestrian road, and notice how it's slightly above zero, the elevation. And notice how I'm no longer getting the errors about water. And the reason why is because right below the level, there's of course no water, because I'm creating artificial land, then I can bulldoze that and put the water back. Now every once in a while, I'll come in with an area where it doesn't do it on both sides. Or I'm sorry, it gives you the capability of zoning on both sides. I don't want to have it to be zoned on both sides. In the few situations where it does give me that issue where it lets me zone on both sides no matter what I do, I'm just going to leave it and have a few businesses and a few homes that are over the river, or versus the others. Because most of the industry, most of the zoning will be behind the road. But every once in a while there'll be one or two zoning situations where it's going to be near the water versus behind the road. But notice how I hope this is making sense. This makes sense to my head. Explain. This is, again, I have a speech impediment, and sometimes it's hard for me to get my words out. I know what I'm thinking. So if there is water here, I've been getting all these errors about water. But because there's no water here, and I made that artificial second shelf, I'm able to zone it in. But notice how every once in a while on the other side, it'll give me the situation where it's zoning in, where it's zonable, like right here. So I'm going to have to, figure out, like, what do I do? It's like, I have to get closer to the edge, which is what's really happening, but not so close that I'm no longer making the seawall. And this is the hard part about this. This is a very hard situation. And like I said, every once in a while, I'll get a situation where I can't figure out how to solve it, and I'm just going to leave it as is. All right, I'm going to fast forward this, so hopefully it'll be make it more easier for you to digest it. Let me know in the comments if you have any other suggestions on making these artificial keys or seawalls easier. Like I said, this is the best solution I came up with, and if I would have thought this sooner, I would have done it. Now, before I fast forward, one thing I want to point out is when I get to the main road that's coming up, the main Marik Road in the middle, I actually, on the left-hand side, north side, I actually used sorry, real life happened, kitty cat issues. I actually have the pedestrian road go underneath the road, and I do that on purpose. Again, my inspiration is the San Antonio Riverwalk, and you'll notice on lots of the videos, sometimes the pedestrian roads on the San Antonio Riverwalk actually went underneath bridges. So when I come to this bridge that's coming up, I am actually going to go underneath it on purpose. On the right-hand side of where you're looking at the screen, you notice it breaks off, where it stops. You enter a cul-de-sac and you return back. And you could take a pedestrian pathway to the other side, but the pedestrian road itself doesn't go past it. But on the north side right here, in the left side, if you will, it's going to go underneath on this artificial shelf I'm making. With the magic and power of editing, I'm going to speed up this part to make it easier for us to watch. Again, this inspiration is coming from the San Antonio Riverwalk, a real life city with real life features. And yes, I'm having some businesses and some zoning underneath this bridge here. And I'm making pedestrian bridges across the zone. Just like at the San Antonio Riverwalk, you can walk across the river from various points. And I'm using that as my inspiration. So occasionally you'll see bridges going from one side to the other side. Just pedestrian only, of course. And then it goes underneath the bridge and then goes back on land with some zoning underneath the bridge as well, but very light zoning. Again, using the San Antonio Riverwalk as some inspiration, you need to have parking. And then once you get off your vehicles, you want easy access to pathways, walking pathways to the Riverwalk, which is what I'm doing here. I'm providing accessible parking, so that way if you're traveling and say, hey, I want to get off and visit the Marik Riverwalk, you can park your car here and then use the pedestrian roads to get onto the pedestrian pathways to get onto the road. And eventually I'll have some bridges across on certain areas. And I'm also detailing it as well because, of course, remember, the San Antonio Riverwalk is a very luxurious place and it's groomed specifically to help invite tourists and to make it look pretty. Likewise, the Marik Riverwalk is designed to be a tourist trap as well, and also a place for elites to come in, or if you want to spend some extra cash, if you're a citizen here, right? So you want to make it look pretty at all times, have it festive. So I'm detailing it. Again, is this necessary? No, but I think it looks pretty. In fact, I think this is exactly what the Mariks with the Free Worlds League would do if they were building their own town here on this alien planet. Let me know in the comments if you disagree.
This is the before picture, before we modified the Marik Riverwalk. This is the after. This is after we modified it. The Marik Riverwalk, that is.
Remember, we have not fast forwarded the time yet, so the water has not moved forward to encompass the previous zone. And notice how the quay walls past this middle road looks a lot more pristine. And it's because I used that trick where I created an underground. And then also notice that I do have some islands and some terrain to give some depth of feel to the water for the Marik Riverwalk.
Before we continue on, we do have a special event that's happening. The Innersphere Regional Map ComStar newsfeed has arrived. It's the January 2024 edition. Center article. The planet is declared safe. New cities are being dreamed. Restart. And sure enough, there's a picture of the city, in its infancy. Right article. Top scientists declare roads are the future. Scientists have discovered pavement and dirt can create 2, 4, and 6 lanes. Fact or fiction? So far, we've only seen 4 lanes. I know that 6 lanes might be something fictional. Left article. The Marik Riverwalk. High-rise condos have rooms for rent. And sure enough, it shows some Marik condos overlooking the new and improved Marik Riverwalk. Something that recently came about that happened in the news article that did not make it to print is that sadly one of the ComStar representative has decided to retire, and we'll be picking up a new ComStar representative very shortly. The new ComStar representative is going to be Adept Phil Porter, who's a teacher. However, Adept Phil Porter is currently not in the city yet, and he's awaiting the building of the elementary school, which is planned, the Wolf's Dragoons Elementary School. With that being said, let's hit unpause and start the game. I hope you enjoyed the ComStar News Bureau investigative report and about January 2024 and the updates that we have. One thing I did while that was happening was we're going to start zoning in stuff. We're almost to the next level. Literally, when we start, we're going to get the next level. The goal is to get at least large roads. And then geothermal. That's our immediate goal. I zoned in a few things, and I also added an elementary school. I put the elementary school here. It's close by to some residential area. Let's see the zoning map. These people over here, it's kind of still far by. And we'll eventually add another school zone because elementary schools are a much needed facility. But we want to start getting our education on the young Sims. And keeping with the theme of the Battletech Universe, all elementary schools will be named after a mercenary unit inside of 3025. In this case, the Wolf's Dragoons is the very first one. Oh, I did forget to add. I knew I was doing something wrong. We forgot to make a few quick add-ons. So let's do that real fast. We want to add playgrounds. Yikes. Lots of hard work just going down the drain, but that's fine. Stuff like this happens. So we're going to add playgrounds. We're going to add them here. Oh look, we got it. This is excellent. So we get fire and police. Plus, ooh, stone and livestock. This is actually perfect. And we're also going to add. We're going to skip the children's clinic. We're just adding. Ooh, do we want to add two? Yes, we're going to add two playgrounds. The Wolf Dragoons, after all, was one of the premier mercenary units, so they get two school units or playgrounds. So let's quickly build back those roads. One moment as we rebuild them. Alright, sorry about that. So we add two playgrounds to the Wolf's Dragoons. And playgrounds, let's see. We'll give well-being to these people over here within 328 yards. And let's see what 328 yards is. Yards. So roughly this. Not a very large radius. The other thing we did is, if you notice, I did put some zoning. Now we did level up, so let's pick up. Again, we want to go to roads, road services. We're going to pick this up. We have 3 points, which is just perfect. And then we're going to pick up large roads. This way, we will be able to get now the 6-lane roads. So again, we're going to remodel. This is the whole reason we haven't renamed the streets, because we're going to be making a lot of changes here. We're going to be remodeling this middle road, the arterial roads, into 6-lane roads. So give us a moment and let's do that real fast. Sorry for that quick remodeling. Let's take a quick look here. So we put the 6-lane road in, as the main arterial road. Oh yeah, there is something here. Electricity. That's fine, we can fix this. And the power. Excellent. Speaking of which, how's our power doing? Excellent. We're making the surplus. And since we're here and we have the transformer station, we're going to add the power over here and have it connected. Put the transformer station and the power is going to go underneath. And why are we connecting the power? Just in case we need to start making trade to, we could sell our excess power, which we're making an excess right now. Not very much. Eventually we will. And if we ever run low on power, we could buy power. So that way we're not running out. And this would be, of course, a ComStar power transformer station. Or just a ComStar station. We know it's for power. We don't need to add that there. And having the road goofy like that doesn't bother me right now, because this is not something we're looking at. And we want to make sure, oh, this needs to be fixed. And of course we lost the power again, so let's fix that. And we also lost the water. Fix that as well. So this is the main arterial road. This road, Marik Avenue, we're probably just going to leave it Marik Avenue. Its primary purpose is to go from point A, which is the highway entrance, to, remember, this is a future train station, passenger train station area we're planning. And this is a small shopping center slash bus stop, or truck stop, gas station area. We pick up pharmaceutical, gas, and maybe some quick supplies. Primarily it goes over here, and we'll make this a roundabout. So that way you can go to the residential area, or the residential area can come out over here, or visit the Regulus Marik Cemetery, or visit the famous Marik Riverwalk. Of course, here's the parking area, here's the school, and then it goes over here where you can go to the industrial area to the south. With that being said, this road down here is an arterial road, this outer road. It's not designed to have businesses on it. So let's update that right away. And notice how I even prevented it from being zoned in on purpose. Actually, I take it back. This is the arterial road. These are collector roads. They're collecting, and then it goes to the local areas, and these are the local roads. So we'll keep it as is. We don't want this yet. The only road I'm thinking about is this road down here. I think this is another arterial road. You know what? No, I'm going to keep it as a collector road. We designed it as a collector road. Let's keep it as a collector road. The next thing we're going to do is we do have access to this, which we can beautify the city in a few moments. Let's add trees. Remember, this is the whole reason why we have them have parking, right? Not to clog up the roads. And again, these collector roads are not meant for parking as well. Collector roads, or arterial roads, are designed for fast access. But we still want to beautify the city. Again, these are collector roads that we're making the city beautiful. We do not want people parking on the streets of the collector or the arterial roads. So you're thinking that we should have a parking space over here because where these people are going to park. That is a very good point. So I agree with you. Let's add a parking space. We'll add a medium one. We're almost done here. Yeah, I know this is the boring part. We're about to finally let the game progress. And that's fine if not every road we're almost done here. And yes, these roads are not, we have not renamed the roads yet. I plan on doing that offline. Now that we finally have 6-lane roads. And this is again a collector road. And this is the planned area for the Gitsin commonality. Or Gitsin Principality, sorry. Lastly, we also got new zoning options, and I want to take advantage of that. We got access to specialized industry, which will be down here. We want to get chickens, livestock, and stone mining. We'll do the stone mining later. I do want to get the livestock going. And I want to have it away from the Riverwalk. So we're going to have it over here in the middle. And then we're going to have a gravel road that snakes in here. I really want to add parking, but I think I goofed up, but that's okay. We can fix it. So let's fix the zoning a little bit. So let's add the parking and then fix the zone again. Excellent, I like this. And we'll add a small commercial. In fact, we'll even make it European over here. Followed by a North American over here. And hopefully nothing too bad over here. We'll have to take a look to see what type of industry comes about in this area. We want to make sure it's nothing too polluting. And we'll do the stone next episode. For right now, this will be sufficient. Let's save the game and hit pause. Remember, it's technically nighttime. I know we haven't seen night yet because we've been using the cheat to. I know it's a kind of exploit, but it's not a real exploit. It's the way how the game's designed. Hitting on pause. So this area does not have any access to water or sewage or electricity, it seems. But let's fix that. Why not? Interesting. Our primary purpose here is to make sure the buildings that are zoned in the Marik area is something we want, and also along near the chicken factory, we don't want anything too polluting. Takes a while for these buildings to be built. I'm going to fast forward the speed up the time to make this more interesting. and garage. I'm going to get rid of this one. I heard some police sirens, which means we need to take a look at crime. Crime probability is at 31%. It's time to bring out the police. Having the police station near the Marik Riverwalk makes sense. And this is, of course, ComGuards, which is a faction within ComStar. Next thing we're going to do is add a police fire station. And again, I'm going to keep it localized central. Actually, I take it back. It's going to go on ComStar Tower or Hill. No car access. There we go. What we're doing is we're waiting for everything to zone in, and let's inspect the zoning. We're going to get rid of that. Hopefully something better will come out of it. Lots of vehicles, but I'll take it. What's down here? Perfect. Cheap and random. I like it. Something different. Textiles. We'll get rid of this. Excellent places. Convenience stores, a bunch of eateries and restaurants. Some luxury homes over here. So this is a pedestrian road, but they're still using cars. Oh wait, this is a police car, so I'll let it slide. We're going to be wrapping up the episode here. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I have. The Marik Riverwalk is turning out to be a success. Look at these high-end homes and luxury places that people live in. Eateries, some pharmaceutical places, high-end restaurant, furniture company, beverages. Yes, just exactly what we wanted. Some nice homes over here for individuals. This very luxurious home along the river. Look at this home. That looks so beautiful and has access to both streets. And then towards the center, the Riverwalk has all these really great places. Foods, a convenience store. And it makes sense because there's homes nearby. Of course, people want their drugs. Who am I to say anything? The Wolf Dragoon School, 46 out of 1,000. And look at these parking spots. In fact, we could even probably up it a little bit. And then the businesses underneath here. Sugar spikes. They're making super tasty beverages here. You can buy vehicles here. More vehicles. Let's get rid of one of them. We'll get rid of that one. Textiles. More vehicles. We're getting rid of the vehicles. Some random homes, okay. And look, the water finally made it to the end. And notice how there's some little mountains. That's fine. These people have paid more for parking. Plastics, that's fine. Chemicals, because you know, who doesn't like some chemicals with plastics? Vehicles, we're sure selling a lot of vehicles here. Furniture, I like furniture. Once these houses get rebuilt, we're missing. Let's try to get an eatery here, a restaurant. Convenience food, I like that. Pharmaceutical, let's get rid of it. We're being very selective on, we're almost playing like whack-a-mole here. We're being very selective what gets zoned over here. And once we get the acceptable buildings, we're calling it a day. We're almost at March already. We're making some real big progress. Notice that we lost access to the ComStar agent. Looks like the ComStar person left the city and it's not coming back. So we're going to have to pick a new ComStar representative. Phil Porter is the next ComStar representative here. Placing the interest for ComStar. Burger ended here. We just found our next ComStar representative for the city council, Phil Porter. I'm going to take a screenshot of him. And let's follow him before we forget. Works at the Wolf's Dragoon Elementary School. Thanks very much for watching this episode of City Skylines II. We had a small person leave our city, and the council member has been replaced, the ComStar representative, by Phil Porter. He's a ComStar adept and represents the Holy Order and works at the Wolf's Dragoon Elementary School, where he'll make a fine addition to the city council member. And since he works for the school, he is in touch with the common citizen. He's now a wealthy individual himself, and he likes teaching the children. I hope you have a great day, and thank you very much for watching. Next episode, we're going to expand on the stone industry. We'll make a proper quarry, and once we get to level 4, we'll probably get geothermal energy. to make sure our city has enough energy. And we'll start zoning out a lot more. Look at our demand, especially for commerce. Looks like this Marik Riverwalk is sure looking like a tourist trap. It's very luxurious tourist traps, and we don't even have parks yet. Isn't that amazing? And look at, this is the industry demand. Very decent. This is the commercial demand. Housing demand. Now, some areas are going to actually not be good for housing. The housing over here is sufficient. That's fine. The one thing we need to start doing too is once we start getting the proper zones, which is at level 4, we can start working on this area over here as well. Looks like these people need more actual people to work here. So let's build a few farm areas here. This area here, they're lacking some demand. However, once we get trains, this will be a very populated area. So I'm not too concerned about these people. Some of them want to leave, they can leave. Right now, our goal is to expand the city and expand the Rimworld Commonality and the Gitsin Principality, and then work on this zone over here. I hope you have a great day, and remember, north is to the up. Oh look, car accidents. A very bad car accident. Look at that. Oopsie. And they're going to the Rimworld Republic. So this is outside. These people don't even live with us. I hope you have a great day, and thank you very much for watching. And hopefully we'll have enough time to start zoning in House Steiner in an episode 2. But again, we're taking this slow. I'm in no rush. Our goal here is to make the inner sphere, this area, to be the city of our dreams, and try and make the inner sphere happen, which every zone and principality and duchy is represented. In this case, we're concentrating on House Marik because of where its start location is at, and how I'm defining north, and the base shape of the map. This kind of reminds me of the inner sphere, and this area would be, if up is north, Free Roguesley, the House Marik faction, right? So leave me comments if you have any suggestions, and I hope you like the Marik Riverwalk. Have a great day, and thank you. Or night, or wherever you're at. It's that time of the video where I'd say adios. Thank you for watching. And if you're hearing this, I really like to say thank you for staying at least this long or skipping to the end. I really appreciate it. Better yet, the YouTube gods seem to enjoy it. Please like, subscribe, click on the bell icon to notification alerts. It really does help content creators like myself. I need the help. If you have any suggestions about my YouTube content or my channel, or about this video, I'd love to hear it. Please leave a comment. Regardless, I'd like to thank you for watching. Stay safe, be entertained, enjoy life, and until next time, adios, goodbye. Hope your RNG is better than mine. Thank you.
All hands, initiate shutdown sequence.